Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Let's Doula This mini class for Angel Touch Doula. I'm Kim Reset, and I am Angel Touch Doula. And today, my special guest speaker is Sarah Silverman, and I am excited to have her here. She is a yoga instructor. She owns Silverman Yoga. Is that correct?
Yes.
And she teaches pregnancy, prenatal and postpartum yoga. You do a mama and baby class for postpartum, right? As well as regular yoga. And I believe Sarah is also due soon herself.
Yes.
So she'll be able to show you some very good yoga poses with a big pregnant belly and all. So. Sarah, I would like to know a little bit about, I as a doula, I know why prenatal yoga is so important, but can you explain maybe a little bit of the technicalities as to why yoga can really help in pregnancy, but also during labor?
Yeah, sure. So a lot of reasons, and I think with my training, I focus a lot on alignment and form. I think that those things are always important so that we're not getting injured in yoga, and that so our practice is really making us feel better. And I just think that is so much more important when we're pregnant because our joints, everything's really loose and open, which is good, getting us ready for labor. But in order to allow ourselves to be more supported and comfortable in pregnancy, I think prenatal yoga can help a lot in stabilizing our bodies so that we can, as comfortably as possible, carry a baby. It's hard, it's
Yeah,
a
a lot of
work.
strain on the body for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times people think that prenatal yoga is just about stretching and relaxing. And there may be some classes that are just for that. And I have some sessions that are specifically for that too. There's nothing wrong with it. But I typically like to include a lot of stabilizing and strengthening exercises as well, so that we can stay strong and feeling good in the body. And that all helps us after we've had the baby too, to recover more quickly, to kind of, get back into a more stable body after all of that. So that's just the physical part of it. And then I think there's just such a huge piece of yoga that teaches us how to monitor our bodies and our systems. And I think that's so important during labor. So we know, like, if we're stressing out, a lot of anxiety, we think, oh, well, I've been practicing breathing and prenatal yoga, so I'm going to turn to my breath. Oh, I need to relax. I need to exhale. I'm not even exhaling.
Yeah.
So I think it teaches us how to just be a little bit more in control of our bodies in a situation that is sensational and sometimes stressful.
Sure.
So I think that's a big piece. And then just the relaxation piece is huge. I think, pregnancy, it's a lot of work, and it's different for all moms. Some are in bliss the whole time, and some are very uncomfortable and even depressed sometimes. So I think it can help with, stabilizing mood. And it's wonderful for this little baby. It could be one of the only times in a day or a week that mom's system is getting to really wind down and be in a restful, peaceful state. And I can say that, I know I teach it, but I don't feel like I'm all that relaxed all that often. So I think it's nice for the baby too, to be able to be in that kind of relaxed body as well.
Absolutely. And there's different kinds of hormones that are being produced when you are relaxed that really benefits babies as well as moms. And you were talking about the breathing, and I really find that as a doula, my clients who have done prenatal yoga or even know about yoga have so much easier time with the breath work in labor than clients who have never done yoga, because breathing is a huge part of labor, because it does help to just get a lot of oxygen to the parts of your body that need it. The muscles and stuff need to be oxygenated, but it also helps with relaxation and calming the nervous system down. So I really do love yoga, yoga breathing for helping in labor as well.
Mhm. And you might know this better than me, but it also, doesn't it help with the like the pain endorphins? They're more
Yes.
likely to
Yeah.
come to our aid when we're a little more stable and
Right.
relaxed.
Yeah. So the more anxious or nervous you are, that your body produces a different kind of hormone, which then overrides our oxytocin. And
Okay.
oxytocin is that hormone that really helps with labor, but it also is a natural pain reliever hormone. And so if that is being overridden by the hormones associated with fear and anxiety, then we don't have that natural pain reliever that we get with oxytocin. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely, definitely. And then talk to me a little bit about, with the pandemic and everything, are you doing any virtual classes, or are you able to help moms virtually? Are you still doing in-person classes? How is that working for you?
Yeah, ever since the pandemic started, or ever since things started closing here in March, my classes switched to online immediately. Um,
Okay.
there was nobody in my class, understandably, that
Right.
first week in March when, especially for a pregnant woman.
Yeah.
So ever since then, yeah, I switched right away. I do them on Zoom. And yeah, the women that come, they say it's been super helpful for them. I feel that too, just having a little bit of sense of a community. We talk about, how we're feeling at the beginning of each session and after each session. So
Wonderful.
yeah, I do that every Saturday
And
morning.
you also are going to be doing some classes that you can buy, right? Like just and watch whenever you want. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm taking advantage of my my pregnancy here. So I'm developing like a big video library of classes, all different lengths from like 20 minutes to 75 minutes. And like they all focus on different things. So some of them are like a 6 series session that you could purchase all of those, or like I'm doing there. I have one for getting you ready for sleep,
Oh, good.
one for stabilizing around the pelvis, um, and then yes, some can be specific. Right now, the series I'm doing is focused on third trimester because that's where I am at. So
Fantastic.
yeah, there will be a lot to
Well,
choose
good.
from.
Good. So I'm going to post your website at the bottom of the video so that people can find those videos when they watch
Thank
this.
you.
Absolutely. Um, I would also like to hear a little bit about, like, I have a lot of my clients have sometimes have like pelvic floor pain, or the pubic symphysis sort of pain. Are there yoga moves or things that you can do that would alleviate that or that will help that?
Yeah, I think for the pubic symphysis, that I think that one requires a lot of times if someone is going through that, a typical prenatal yoga class may feel terrible to them
Okay.
because because we're focusing a lot on opening and stabilizing, but all they need to be doing is focusing on stabilizing.
Good.
So
Good.
like,
No.
I'll show you one thing today
Okay.
that I'm pretty loosey-goosey in my body. I fortunately don't have a lot of pubic symphysis stuff going on, splitting or anything, but I do this kind of stuff too, just being like pretty hypermobile in my body.
Good.
But yeah, it involves a lot of like squeezing stuff between your legs and we're not trying to open up a lot.
As much when
You're
you have.
already doing that. So we're trying
Okay.
to give you a little more stabilization. And
Nice.
then stuff with pelvic floor, we do relaxation and engagement exercises. But it's so complicated and that there are so many muscles, you know. If it were like a real issue, then I would say that they should go to like a pelvic floor specialist, like a
Perfect.
PT,
Yeah.
and do yoga.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Sarah, would you like to show us that one or two moves and
Sure.
walk us through them?
Yeah. So so a lot of times I'm using a chair. I don't always use chairs in sessions, but just for like kind of an intro here, I'll use a chair. I think a lot of people think about like the chairs are only used for like senior type of yoga, but I love the chair, like whether I'm pregnant or not. I think it's super handy. So the first one I'll show is you sit right on the edge of your chair, and a woman could do this at work or at home or wherever. In pregnancy, our hips can get really tight, and sometimes that can, you know, for one, that just creates pain, and it can even cause achiness at night when we're trying to sleep. And then in a lot of cases, it can lead to things like sciatic nerve compression. So I think this is an important one. So I flex my ankle and bring the ankle over the knee. So you're making like a figure 4 shape here. And then I sit up nice and tall. And I can either stay here or come forward. Okay, I want to show that it's important that we're not collapsing in the back here. So if you are trying to like wiggle your bottom more towards the edge of your chair, you may even need to wiggle your foot out. Okay. And then it's just a nice place. You can hold it for about 5 breaths. You can practice nice deep breaths in, really energizing, invigorating the body. And then practice those nice, complete, full exhalations. Each exhale, you can notice if anything like the jaw or the tongue is tightening, let those go. And so much can change in just 1 or 2 mindful breaths. So it could be just a sweet opportunity to kind of reset your day. And then after that 5th breath or so, we switch. I'm going to pull my kneecap up just to give it some stabilization. Then we do the other side. Flexed ankle is really to protect our knee and the ankle a little bit, keep us strong. So again, I sit up tall out of the low back and either stay here or maybe you're coming forward. I'm going to take a few more breaths. Maybe even letting the eyes close if that's feeling okay for you. And all of these are fantastic for partners to do as well, because pretty much everyone's hips would benefit from this kind of move. And then with your inhale, you come up nice and tall and release again with that drawing up of the kneecap. A lot of times, I definitely feel this, even though I do, you know, a fair amount of yoga, this collapsing through the front body. There's so much that's kind of pulling us down. So that can create pain in our necks a lot of times, in the shoulders, and it just makes us feel more tired and sad. We will
Sure.
slouch forward. So especially in pregnancy, I always try to bring in some kind of chest shoulder opener. So this one, you put your fingers on your shoulders and just start making big, sweeping elbow motions. We're trying to lift the chest. Also wonderful after you've had the baby, especially all the feeding and holding
Oh,
the baby.
yes. Yeah, for sure.
Then we can go the other way, opening the chest. And some would say that even just kind of energizing, like the breast tissue area, could help with milk production as well.
Nice.
So we could do a few of those. And then opening the sides of our body can be important, just to give us as much space as possible to breathe, eat, digest. So I like things like this. Could bring my ankle under the knee, strong standing leg, and reach my arms up. Take the form to thigh, and again, I'm going to kind of bend the elbow and do these nice shoulder moves here. Okay, and then I'll pause. You can hold these longer than I'm holding. I'm pushing down through the foot, really lift the side body. I want to try to open up as much breathing, lung space as I can. And then with an inhale, we come on out. I'll just show a little quick setup here. Ankle under knee, standing leg strong and reach up. Form to thigh, and then we take these nice movements. So all of these postures we typically hold for, maybe 5 breaths or so. We hold, we're trying to lengthen, find more space in the side of the body, roll the heart open. Pause and breathe. And then we can come on up. And then another important one, you could do this with a chair. I love doing it in my kitchen with the counter. So when something's cooking and it has a little time, I'm waiting on it, I'll grab around the counter or the chair and walk. So it's like a downward dog pose, but it's not quite as deep. And I'm getting this nice traction length through the spine. So I'm going to bend my knees. The further along you are, so right now my baby's kind of hitting up against the thighs, so I'm going to go a little wider and move the hips back. Okay, my hips are about in line with my heels. And what we don't want to be doing here is rounding our back. Okay, so if that's happening, you want to bend your knees and move your hips back. We also don't want to be just collapsing through the joints, like something like this. So I want to hug baby up and really reach the feet back. And this one's nice too, because you can get the beautiful tractioning, lengthening through the spine, which can also alleviate sciatic nerve compression. But you're also not going upside down. And I'm already 3rd trimester, you may be getting the feeling like stuff wants to come up. So not going upside down helps that.
Yeah.
And then the last one I'll show was kind of what you were asking about, Kim. A lot of ways you could do this. So if you have like a yoga block or something, I would really recommend, you can get these for $5 online. I would really recommend you having like 1 or 2 of these, because you can either squeeze it between the knees, so you'll feel that in the pubic bone. It's kind of hugging in when you squeeze it. So excellent postpartum work as well. Okay, if you wanted it to be a little more active, you could be doing it standing up, squeezing. Okay, or my favorite, which is really, it's hard, but it keeps us so strong, is to do this against the wall. We're walking the feet out parallel. Make sure you're on something that's not gonna slip out from underneath you. And then I'll put this block in between my thighs and squeezing, and then I decide how much I'm gonna slide down. And this is really nice mind practice for, say, going through a sensational contraction or whatever you like to call it. So you can hold it for maybe a minute or so and just work on your breathing, staying calm, staying relaxed. And if you don't have a block, you could use your two fists between your knees here. Okay. All right, when you come out, then you'd feel just that power through your legs, very invigorating, energizing. And then if you have the time, I would always say to rest at the end, even if it's just for 10 breaths. So like I have a big bolster, but it could be your couch pillows or some blankets. And I'll show you real quick. It can be on either side, whatever side you're comfortable on. I'm going to stack this up between my knees and ankles. I have something for my head, and then as the baby grows, you'll probably want to squish something up under there, and just let your eyes close. And you could be here if you have the time. It could be a beautiful reset if you had like 10 minutes. But if all you have is 10 breaths, then that is good too. And then
That's really good to know that it doesn't have to be a certain length of time. You can do it shorter on those days you may not have as much time, and then longer on those days you have more time. So that's great.
Yeah, you can do a lot in 20 minutes. Yeah.
Fantastic. Is there anything else, Sarah, that is there any time that maybe a pregnant mom or postpartum mom should not be doing yoga, or maybe certain moves that they should avoid?
Yeah, I mean, typically it would be things that a provider would, I hope, would tell you, but I think mostly things like you know, high blood pressure or preeclampsia, like preeclampsia for sure. Although I would really just want to recommend just relaxing, like maybe that final
pose. Yeah.
I doubt a healthcare provider would disagree with that, but ask them anyway. Like, is a relaxing, restorative yoga posture okay?
Especially on your left side, that can really help with the high blood pressure and stuff to rest on the left side. So good.
Okay, yeah. But otherwise, it would just be issues like the pubic symphysis, diastasis, if that were starting to become really uncomfortable, separating.
Sure.
I don't know if that's me ringing or not. Or if it's just not feeling good.
Right. Okay.
It's not feeling good to you.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah, I really appreciate your time with us today. It's I love yoga, period, but I especially love it in pregnancy. And I think postpartum wise too, it can really help with the healing and getting your body back kind of to feeling more normal, as well as a bonding with babies when you do the mother baby yoga. I love that with my babies, and my baby is now 16, so it's been around for a while, but I really do think that it's probably, if you're going to do any exercises or anything in pregnancy, I really feel like yoga is the best to do. You can do other things too, but yoga is just so good physically as well as mentally and emotionally preparation for labor and postpartum. So I really appreciate your being with us today, and I look forward to hearing all about the classes and stuff you have coming up.
Great, thank you, Kim.
All right. Thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Let's Doula This mini class.